Welcome guys, welcome to this video. As you can see by the title underneath, this isn't a conventional review of the game on Monday. It really isn't New Year's Day. It is basically a video saying where exactly are Grimsby Town right now. I tried to do the review video 3-4 times and I've just been too pissed off, really. I could never get it right to justifiably bring it to you. So I'm gonna sort of go at it from a different angle, and like I said, this is mainly about exactly where are Grimsby Town, or what are Grimsby Town Football Club, and these are my thoughts on it. And my thought is this. What are Grimsby Town Football Club? Inconsistently crap. After the loss on New Year's Day, you can't defend these players. You just can't. You know, our heaviest defeat at first time we've conceded 6 since 1948. I mean, you're just looking at this and going, where are Grimsby Town? I'll give you the truth here, you know. And I want you guys' opinion at the end of it. You Mariners fans, I want you guys' input on this. I really do. Leave your comments down below once I've finished this video. Leave the comments down below for me. It's quite honestly truthful. We've been fighting with the idea of, are these players better than what we had last year? We've said it, and I've said it in previous videos. Technically, yes. The truth is, the answer is absolutely not. We're shit. And that is saying it now. I think David Artell was trying to say that in his post matches yesterday, without saying that. A lot of these players cannot keep a sustained level of performance. You could drop any of the players in this team for anyone else. You could drop the whole first team and play the youth team. You wouldn't miss any of the first team. You have to question their pride. You have to question their professional pride. And I do. I question it. Because to me, and I don't know about you guys out there, but fucking embarrassing. There you go, I'm just going to say it. Fucking embarrassing. We can accept losing games. I can accept losing games. And I'm sure fans out there, we all can. We will lose games during the season. It is inevitable. It is the way that we've lost games. And why is that? And it is simple as this. The players that we have got at Grimsby Town Football Club cannot sustain performances. Simple as that. Have we got players that can do it from time to time? Yes, we do. The players sort of like Aboisa, Harry Clifton can do it from time to time. Anthony Glennon can do it from time to time. We don't seem to ever have any fit forwards, which is making me sick because we never have any forwards seem to be available. That is on Paul Hurst when Paul was here. That's on Paul. And that is a criticism that I'll throw towards the former manager. But in general, the players need to look at themselves. They should be ashamed of what they delivered against Warsaw. To have any team at all come to your home ground and after 30 minutes at absolutely, not even dominate you. They didn't dominate Grimsby at any particular time. They were just so much more clinical. Any good? Not really. But they didn't have to be. If I'm completely honest with you, Forest Green could have beaten us yesterday. Because I do question whether these lads are fit for the shirt. I don't know where they are. I don't think they are. Because you cannot, But to me, there is one player in the entire squad that is undroppable. And I want to get your opinion on, you guys' opinion on this. Danny Rose. To me, he's the only player that is undroppable in this team. Because he's the only player that performs. He's the only player that tries consistently. He's the only player that's showing anything. Harry Clifton's fell off a cliff. Aboisa can do it, but he has to shoot from 35 yards. And I like Aboisa, so I'm not trying to take a personal pop at Abo, but the fact is his performances haven't been consistent enough. Toby Malarkey, a great game against Salford, but quite frankly, Salford haven't won in 11. I think they've lost 9 of their 11. It's not good enough. You look at Gav Holohan has probably been our best midfield player this season. And you could tell we missed him against Walsall. To be honest with you, Harvey Cartwright, yes, he's doing a decent job-ish. But I don't think he should play in the next game. And I'll tell you why. He got a clean sheet against Salford, yes. But that boy's confidence after New Year's Day, no matter how David Artell puts it, will be shot. He gets that clean sheet at Salford, then concedes 6 against not a top side in the division, a side that's on good form, but not a top side in the division. And looking back at the goals of that, I hear a lot of fans say lack of effort, lack of commitment, I watched some of the defending for the goals back. And where was the desire to get anywhere near anybody? It wasn't good football that beat us on New Year's Day. It was basically how bad we were more than how good Walsall were. Walsall weren't great. The annoying thing is, they're not that great anyway. But we made Walsall look like world beaters. And it's because players need to get their heads out of their arses and feel what we do. Now, I have this argument with a lot of people in the past going, they don't have to because they're getting paid and things like that. I would say with David Artell, I was very annoyed with Artell after his post-matches. And it just seemed very nonchalant by David, and still sounds that way. It just very nonchalant, very, oh, well, that's just where they are. You've just got beaten 6-1 at home. Now, I know that you have to be very diplomatic when you go in front of the media, and you do. So, but I hope in the dressing room, he's absolutely given them the biggest load of shit they've ever had, because that was garbage. Walsall was garbage. You have to give Walsall credit in the aspect of they took the chances we gave them. They didn't work one, maybe the first one of theirs, but they didn't work. It wasn't any really good moves that Walsall scored with. It was what we gave Walsall, which people should be ashamed of. The players should be absolutely ashamed and disgusted in themselves. Will they all be? Yeah. Another thing you have to look at when the state of Grimsby Town. How have we gone from FA Cup quarter-finalists and the best position nearly in 25 years in the league to so far off that? How do we go from finishing 11th last year and having that dream run up to Brighton, and now we can't beat Sutton United? Now we can't beat Forest Green Rovers. Now we lose to a mediocre Walsall as well. How have we gone? I don't want to say fall from grace, because Grimsby's never been graceful. But how have we turned in from that in a span of 5 months? From a side that has been successful for 2.5 years. I wasn't expecting them to pull up massive trees in League 2 this year. I wasn't expecting them to. I think in my predictions I had us down for 7th or 8th. But I said I'd take 12th, because at least you haven't really deteriorated much. You do have to question the recruitment of what was bought in the summer. Harvey Rodgers isn't cutting it. Luke Waterfall, I don't agree with the criticism Luke is getting, because every single time Luke is on the pitch, he's always, I think he's becoming Grimsby's scapegoat. And people went at me and said about Harvey Cartwright really shouldn't be in the team. I think you've got to put Jake Eastwood in against Notts County. And that's another thing. That's our next game. Yeah, a team that can't stop conceding right now. They're conceding a lot of goals, Notts County. But they're scoring an awful lot. They're our next visitors to Bundle Park. So if a mediocre Walsall can do that to us attack-wise, what in the world are Notts County going to do? They've got the top goal scorer in League 2, in Macaulay Langstaff. I don't trust our defence to keep him out. I can see him scoring a hat-trick right now. If we were playing them this week, we'd lose, guys. Let's be totally blunt. We wouldn't beat Notts County. Unless they absolutely had an absolute shocker. And that's where we are right now. Where we are right now is plain and simple as this. We've got players, but we've got players just full of one game on, one game off, half a decent game, a good game one half, a bad game second half. Typical Grimsby, really, people would sometimes say. Play well for one half and play absolutely shit for the next. You look into my eyes right now as a Grimsby Town fan, and I can tell. Look, I'll tell you, looking at you right now, we are not good enough. David Artell knows that, but I do feel like he's been a bit nonchalant with it. David Artell knows this team is not good enough. Danny Rose is, though. He is the one player in all of this that I feel so sorry for. And you don't want to feel sorry for players, because you could say that, well, he's to blame as well. How? How's Danny Rose to blame? I don't want to call this a state of emergency for Grimsby Town. It's getting close. Is relegation a possibility? David Artell can downplay it. The only reason why I don't think we will is because I do believe there is 3 or 4 teams worse off than us. I really do. And they're the 4 below us. Colchester, Sutton, Forest Green, all below us. And I believe they are all worse than us. And Salford. They are worse than us. We're where we are because we deserve to be there. We might be scoring more, but we're damn well going to be conceding more. We're awful defensively. If you were to remove all our back 4 or back 5, probably outside Glennon, and you put the under 18s in there, you wouldn't know the difference. If you did the same with our midfield, because guess what? We haven't got one. We don't control midfield at all in games. We don't control midfield. Harry Clifton, like I said, has fell off a cliff. I like Harry, but he has literally fell off a cliff. And if you were to tell me the midfield, why wasn't Otis Khan played yesterday? After that half hour, he couldn't have done any worse than what we did. But he was warming up in front of me, God knows how long. You know, and then David Artell brings him on with about 10 minutes to go when it means absolutely nothing. You know, and that's not defending Otis. That's just going, could he really have done any worse after that first half an hour? This is where Grimsby Town is. Are we going to flirt with relegation this year? Yes. I honestly believe that we will. And like I've said in the past, and I want to know your fans' opinion on this as well. Do you have a system of what you will accept, what you won't accept? I think I've asked the question before, not really got much feedback. But I really do want to know that. You know, do you have a system of what you would accept, what you really want, what you would accept, and what you wouldn't accept? Because right now, with these players' mentalities, we're getting what I'm not accepting. How the players are going to go in this week, knowing they do not have a game at the weekend, I don't know if that's a good thing or that's a bad thing. My opinion, it'll be a good thing if we beat Notts County. It'll be a bad thing if we lose heavily. Where are we? We're in need of defensive reinforcements, and we're in need of controlling midfielders. because apart from Gav, we don't really have one, and we need a couple of fit strikers. Danny Rose can't do it all by himself. That was proof yesterday. But Danny Rose is the only guy in the entire squad that's undroppable. There's nobody else in that squad that's undroppable. Everybody's droppable. Harvey's droppable. Abo's droppable. Harry Clifton's droppable. Afete, Glennon, Malarkey definitely is droppable. Everybody's droppable. And that's where we are. We haven't got... People say look for the best 11. We haven't got one. We might be doing it for a game or so. You know, and you can turn around and go, well, we played well for 40 minutes at Mansfield. The game was about 95 minutes. We didn't play well at all. Like I said, the 2-0 was a result in a way. Whether we hit the post 3 times, went close 15 times, whatever else, we still didn't score. So you can play well as much as you like. I'd rather play shit and win. So I'd rather do. I'd rather play shit and win than well and lose. But my final straw was getting our arse handed to us, not by what the opposition did. It's by the pile of sewage that those players gave us as fans. I could not believe what I was seeing. How easy we just rolled over and then our tummies tickled after the first half hour. I literally just cannot believe how easy we made it for a bang average Walsall side. They're 11th, but they won't stay there. And if they do, it'll be because other teams will play like us. And that's simple as that. The only reason why we're not in the bottom 2 is because the bottom 4 teams are worse than us. We're not very good. We're not very good. And I'm stopped then thinking, right, we're not very good. So we've got to stop thinking, oh, well, maybe they just haven't found it yet. We're January. We're still leaking goal central, doesn't. Yeah, we got the clean sheet against Salford. Salford lost again New Year's Day. So it's nothing special that we went to Salford and won there. Just shows we're not as bad as Salford. Salford are one of the worst teams in the division. I said that when we got the home win over them. They were dreadful that day as well. Salford will be scrambling for relegation. And if they're not careful, they will drop down the trap door. But that's the only reason why we won't. The state of Grimsby Town right now, on the field, is worrying. We can't BS anybody, it's worrying. Nobody is performing consistently, apart from Danny Rose. Like I said, Danny is the only person in that squad that is performing consistently. he can't do it by himself. You know, you're watching former players that were just with us last season and season before, thriving at their new clubs because they want to be at the clubs. You know, I've always been known as one of the most positive Grimsby Town fans. No, you've got to call it out, haven't you? You know, and it doesn't matter who owns the club, who manages the club. This is not good enough. Stop lying to yourself that this is good enough. We've all got to do it as a fan base. We've got to stop lying to ourselves. This is the best that this squad can do. Paul Hurst was getting the best out of the squad he could. David Artell is getting the best out of the squad that he's got. But do you fans disagree? Do you believe it's not that? Do you believe that the players are doing more? But if you do, I'll challenge you on it all the time. But at the same time, I want your opinion. Now, it might sound very contradictory. Well, you want my opinion, but you're going to tell me a justifiable reason why you believe these players are not giving you all that they should. Why are they so inconsistent? Skillful players, any players can be good. Toby Malaki was good against Salford. He was dreadful against Walsall. He's one of those players. But I don't just want to pick on Toby. All of them. Danny is the only one that I can't pick on, because he gives you 100% every single time he goes out on that pitch. He's the only player I can go away from a Grimsby match, or when I watch them on stream, he's the only player I can go, he's given everything for us. How in the world we landed Danny Rose, I will never know. Because the people that are on it, they may all be good lads, and I'm not criticising themselves as human beings, but as players, they're not fit to play with Danny Rose. They're not, and I will defend Danny till the day is long. Danny Rose is the only player that is worthy of any. I think we already know, don't we, guys, who Player of the Year is already. We're only halfway through it. Young player, already my only early shout for that is Cam Gardner. And he hasn't played much for the first team at all. There's nobody in this squad that deserves a lot of praise. Abbo, yes, when he's at it, but he's not at it enough. No one is. No one is. And that is wholeheartedly the worry. No one is. And I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to leave it down to you guys now. Like this video says, where are Grimsby Town? My view is, we're in the shit. And David Arter's got a long, hard job ahead of him. Where do you think we are, though? And why do you think? You can leave me video responses to this if you need be. You can message me on social medias or down below in the comment section. But I think now, having been embarrassed at home 6-1 like we were New Year's Day, this needs to be called out. It's nowhere near good enough. And if we don't have some reinforcements in for Notts County, I fear a similar scoreline could be coming. Well, no, it won't. Could be. It will. It will happen. Because believe me, Notts County have a far better attack. They may not have the depth, but they've got a much more stronger 11. They'll eat us alive. Simple as that. With how we are. But now it's your turn. And these are the kind of things where I want you fans' opinions. You don't have to be the same as mine, but I want to know your opinions. Where do you think Grimsby Town are? How many are with me with my thoughts? How many of you think different? And if so, just tell me why you think it's different. Why are we defending a worse team than last year? You know, the team that only scored 49 goals last year. We conceded 56. But look where last season's squad's got us to this season's. I think we know which was better. So leave your comments down below for me. And we'll have a good debate on this. Because I want this to be a debate. Do you think this squad is better? If you do, then I've got to question a lot of people. Or are we doomed to be in the bottom 6 or 7 of this league? I think we are. Unless something drastically changes. Of course we are. We've got dud strikers that never seem to be fit. We've got a midfield which aren't a midfield. And we've got so many inconsistent plats. And it's not good enough. And no one can tell me otherwise and say it's good enough. If you think this is good enough, after what we achieved last year, then you're delusional. This is not good enough. Leave your comments down below for me. If you like this type of video, let me know. I just couldn't do the match review because I'm fuming that we got battered at home by a team that we shouldn't be losing 6-1 to. Simple as that. Leave your comments down below for me. Hit the like button. Leave me some questions. Now I'll even come back on and do another video about the questions you give me. Challenge me. You know, I'll give you my honest opinion. We're not all going to agree on this. Of course we're not. But I think a good amount of us will agree we're in the shit. And the sooner we realise that, the sooner I think we can all move forward, because we know we've got a squad full of inconsistency. Inconsistent players. They can do it once in a while. So that doesn't mean when they don't go on the pitch, by the way, that we do not support them. Because I will. I'll always support them. But whether I'll have faith in them is another story. Because you don't know what Grimsby you're going to get. We look like an out-of-date lasagna. You know. So cheesy, but it makes you ill after watching it. After eating it, it's amazing. So leave your comments down below. Hit the like button for me. hit hit that bell button. That'll let you know when I upload another video. The next few videos for Grimsby are gonna be pretty much anything in regards to the transfer window. But I'll tell you what, leave me some questions down below and I'll do a Grimsby Town sort of Q&A. If you want to know anything about me as a Grimsby Town fan as well, leave them for me down below. I'll get them all and I'll answer a few questions while we wait for some news on incomings, outgoings, and so on and so forth. So hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I will see you. I've gone quite long again, haven't I? But I do hope you like this video. I hope some of the points are good. So like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me comments down below. Where do you think Grimsby Town are? Let me know down below, and I'll see you soon, guys. Oh boy, it needs to change.